Welcome to Stupid for Dexter! Woo! Woo! I am Kat Steele, and this is our fabulous co-host for the moment. She'll be joining us. This is Miss Dana.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
And we are currently in the kill room. Dun, dun, dun. So Dana's here today, and Miss Mandy, who is our other co-host, will be joining us next week. She couldn't be here this evening, unfortunately, but both her and Dana are going to be helping us out for the rest of the season. It's very exciting.
Yes.
And we have a new time slot, I guess you could say. We're going to be on Sunday nights, 8 p.m., Pacific Standard Time, PST. So we're trying to follow Dexter to have, you know, fresh discussion, fresh analysis. I think it's nice. Watch Dexter, and then you get to hang out with us. It sounds good to me. What do you think?
I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited that Dexter's back, and I'm so excited that Lumen's gone. Just going to say it.
I agree. Oh, there's producer Mike. How's it going?
Good. So, I'm sorry, I was busy with technical stuff. You mentioned we're on iTunes, right?
iTunes, Roku, Ustream.
So you can catch it on iTunes, Stupid for Dexter. That's going to be the big place to go. We're on also our stupidfordexter.com. We're going to set up a whole thing this year that you can comment. We want you to comment and share the videos and get involved and make this a whole group experience. And that's why we're going live right after the show as well, so we can get everybody involved in this.
Woo!
That's it.
Sounds great. So, I think it's time to discuss some Dexter. So, we had the first episode of season 6.
Yes.
Very different tone.
Holy hell. I think we're going religious. Right? More Jesus.
Surrounding your
exactly. We've got Mary right here. I mean, we don't have our Jesus bobblehead, but we're going to get it for next week.
Oh, we will.
Because I didn't know anything that was going to happen. I've been trying to steer clear of like all the chat rooms. I know there was an episode that leaked last week. We've stayed cleared of it just so we could be really excited about, you know, and bring everything new to you guys as it happens.
Exactly. No, I know some folks love spoilers. I try to stay away, and it was so nice just to watch it completely fresh.
Definitely.
So I agree. Well, do you want to talk about some killer moments from this episode?
Yes.
For those who are just joining us, who are new to us, we have something called killer moments, which is the big top moments of the Dexter episode. So we got a cool intro. Ready? Here's a cool intro for killer moments.
Ooh, it is so cool. All right. Do you want me to go first? I got a couple in mind.
I think I'll let you take this one. You're the big host here. I'm showing me the ropes for this season. So you go first.
Oh, Dana, you are adorable. All right. So the first thing on my list is that the intro to this episode, Dexter is immediately back in action. He's old Dexter with a
yeah. I was so excited because I thought it was like maybe a dream sequence or something that was going on, or, you know, like I always think when he's hurt, like, oh crap, he's going to get caught. I always think that, and I have such anxiety. And then he busted out those needles, and I was so happy because I think it just means that it's going back to the old Dexter.
Yes.
Last season was so dramatic, and it just didn't feel like it was him, and I think with that opening scene, it just was like, boom, we're back in business.
Right back in. It's the Dexter who I think fans know and love, and we lost some of that in season 5. He was a little mopey, there wasn't as much action, and just, this is what Dexter does, and he does best. And they mentioned it a few times throughout the entire episode, not just, well, they didn't mention in this instance specifically in the beginning, but it was mentioned moving forward. They talked about moving forward at least 2 or 3 times. So.
Yeah, we're all moving forward. He said that as he picked up Harrison, like someone else said in the episode, it like was throughout the episode, everything's about moving on, and I am very happy to do it because last season, you know how I felt about it.
Yeah, I hear you on it. It's tough though, because when you come from season 4, the Trinity season, how do you go from there? Because it was so well done, it was so good. But season 5, they're getting back to the good stuff.
Yeah, I have high hopes for this season. I have high hopes. And, you know, higher spirit, I guess you could say. Because I feel like this episode totally should have been called What Would Dexter Do? Or something. Right?
That's adorable, Dana. Oh my God, I'm writing that down.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, it was obviously, it was called these kinds of things, and we'll get to that, but what would Dexter do? I mean, there was more Jesus than I've seen in a very long time.
This is true. It was all about that.
Right.
All the Catholicism, and we're going to find out more about some of, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Would you like to share a killer moment, Miss Dana?
Okay, well, speaking of, you know, intros, not only was the introduction of Dexter, like, you know, he's back, but then all of a sudden you see the introduction of you know, who's obviously going to be the main characters, you know, his enemies for this season, which is Colin Hanks, which I'm really excited about. I was so happy when I heard he was doing it, and then when I saw him in that boat with, you know, Mr. Stand and Deliver, Battlestar Galactica, of course, too. Almost. Almost.
Almost. He's
Edward James Olmos. I think of him as Stand and Deliver. I really do. But they like came out on the boat. You had no idea what you were doing, but you knew something was going down.
It was
you knew
spooky.
Something was going down.
It set the tone for this incredible darkness. Oh, it was so great.
And he's like we were talking about it. He's so young looking, which makes him like even creepier.
So innocent looking.
I know.
That baby face, almost like a cherub, like
I know.
an evil cherub.
But he's totally evil because he then all of a sudden, and I know we'll be going over the quote that he said from the Bible, from Revelation.
That's right.
Before he totally just killed that fruit guy that we have no idea what he did, or he just was going to give him some oranges.
That's right.
He said, "I'll have some oranges," and that was it.
And I'm going to kill you and put your intestines in a balance.
Well,
yeah.
I gotta say something, Dana. Your hair apparently is hitting the mic, and people are getting mad in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, where's your mic? Wait.
My mic
This is how we technically do it, people. Oh, see.
Mic is I'm sorry, everybody.
Welcome to the tech. All right, there we go. That might help.
Sorry, everybody.
I have crazy hair.
Your hair's looking so fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
They can just.
Sorry, guys.
Keep going. Sorry.
We love everybody in the chat room, but so Olmos and Colin Hanks. It looks like they're gonna.
Oh, they're totally.
Big bad.
Yeah.
So, very exciting.
I know.
I think the fruit vendor guy, I would categorize that scene in that murder as another killer moment.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was like a segue into it.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. It's the first show.
So, in that moment, let's get to that moment. Colin said something to him, right? What was the quote?
The quote was from Revelation 22, 2. So
Chapter and verse.
Chapter and verse. Chapter 22, verse 2. And it's talking about the tree of life, which in the Bible, let me see. The tree of life and how it has 12 different types of fruit. So I'm wondering, obviously there's a pattern, there's a method to the madness. Maybe some of the murders have something to do with a certain order. Obviously biblical, obviously Revelation, since everything seems apocalyptic.
Right, and it's like 12 each year. So I'm assuming that maybe it's, one killing a month, like one significant killing a month, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. That could be in our predictions too later.
Absolutely.
But I don't, I'm a Hebrew school girl, so this Catholic school stuff, as we're going through,
we have Elaine. Now we gotta get Elaine. Elaine's gotta almost walk over here. I can hand her a mic. I think this is gonna have to. This is our messed up. This is why you need to get to our PayPal. We need more mics.
Oh yes, mics, please. But Elaine's.
But basically, it looks like what we're seeing is these are crazy religious nuts who are maybe trying to bring the end of the world or something, according to sort of the end. It's begun. Right. And there's the Alpha Omega.
We haven't gotten onto that yet.
Okay, but let's let's all bring that together. Basically, I mean that's how I'm seeing it, right? These are religious guys who are trying to bring the end of the world, and obviously had to start this thing. And Alpha Omega also refers to Jesus, correct?
Yeah, the beginning and the end.
School, Elaine.
That's the
The
name,
Hebrew school behind us.
I know.
By the way, I want to say this as we keep going. Last year we had a social worker expert on the show. This year we were looking for a psychological expert, a criminal. We didn't know how this was going to go. We now need a religious expert on the show. Seriously.
We need a young priest and we need an old
Yeah, exactly.
Seems Roman Catholic. We always want to have a Dexpert on the show, and it seems this year we will need a religious expert. So if you're watching, listening, and think you can Skype in and be our Dexpert, please write to us.
If you're Catholic and you like
you
Dexter,
can come on our Facebook page and we can get a hold of you and let's discuss that. But let's keep going then in our killer moments.
Right.
Certainly. So that just set the tone for, okay, they are interpreting the Bible somehow in a way that is going to be methodical. It was mentioned in interviews about the season, and it was mentioned in the show itself, references to the Zodiac Killer and the way that he was methodical. So I know Elaine chatted with us after watching the episode about some of the imagery and some of the things mentioned. So it's going to be very interesting to see if people who can dive more into the biblical stuff can start identifying what's really going on.
Exactly.
I mean, it'll be interesting.
But I think also, too, what's interesting is the fact that as this is going on, you also see, you know, this scene with Dexter taking Harrison to Catholic school.
Yes.
And so religion is playing, you know, a part in not only kind of the people that he's going to be hunting, but also in the type of life he's going to be raising his son.
Absolutely.
And I just thought, you know, there were some very good lines between Batista and Dexter.
Yes, there were.
Throughout, you know, kind of, and him questioning religion, but then realizing that, you know, his son has to figure it out for himself at the end. But I mean, I think religion, it was so full of Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Let's see another moment.
So we go from like him getting his intestines taken out, this fruit vendor,
oh god,
to him washing up on the beach.
Yes.
With, as Mike said, the Alpha Omega.
The Alpha Omega, the stitches. So it said that it had been done post-mortem. So this almost ritualistic way of murdering and then preparing the body.
Takes us to our next big killer moment.
Oh God, another killer moment, everybody.
Which is?
Snakes. 7 of them, actually. But yes, many snakes. Yes.
The serpent with 7 heads. Or in this case, 7 snakes.
7 snakes. 7 creepy ass baby snakes. Insanity. That was gross, but very significant. And yet again, another biblical reference. We found out that there is a serpent rises with seven heads. And there is a serpent referenced in the Bible in Revelation with 7 heads, and each has horns. It's referred to as like the Antichrist.
We do have a mic on Elaine. She could talk a little more about this.
Elaine, could you help us out? You are so knowledgeable about these things.
Okay, it looks like, I guess you guys can hear me but not see me?
Yes.
Everything that they quoted, okay, the 2 villain characters, looks like it's from the 20th, 21st, 22nd chapter of Revelation, and there it mentions the serpent with 7 heads. So they kind of changed it to make it 7 serpents, but then what's interesting about it is it says the serpents will have horns. And when we get to, I guess, the last thing that they said about the serpent, they said in this, and the serpent is wearing, the first serpent is where the first head is wearing.
Give us, what's Revelations? Give us a little backdrop.
Revelation is the last book of the New Testament. It is entirely told in a mythical way. Signs of the apocalypse. So there are 7 signs of the apocalypse, and the apocalypse, if you really, you know, are unfamiliar with this, the apocalypse is the end of the world. It's the rapture, where, you know, everyone that is saved and believes in Jesus will be taken up to heaven, and the rest of us are. So that's all right. So that's Revelation.
You mean they'll be?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Elaine. So we're looking forward to a lot more biblical stuff coming up, because it's obviously this whole season is just saturated with that. Some other things I noticed.
Well, what I like, and now I'm holding the mic. What I like about it is, what I didn't like last year, it was every billboard you saw was about guilt. So we thought, oh, the whole season's gonna be about guilt, and then season ended up not really being about guilt at all. This season we saw the bloody angel wings and all that, and that's what it is. It was
totally the Avenger.
Everything we saw, and that apparently is actually what we're going to see.
It is. Well,
pretty heavily.
How does a sociopath have guilt? That was the most
right. It didn't make sense. That's what we thought.
Nonsensical.
And we'll say this. You know, it's hard to judge the first episode of a season because there's a lot of backstory, pretty obvious backstory.
Right.
You're watching it, it's sort of eye rolling at times where you're my sister, but you're not really my sister. Okay, Batista, we get it. obviously, in a 1 hour, it's hard to establish all that for new people coming in to watch and new characters.
Of course.
So we cut him a break on all that stuff. I mean, it's not like another show. I just saw really quick. I saw Terra Nova, one of the worst dialogues of backstory I've ever seen in my life. So we'll give Dexter a break. It wasn't that bad.
Right.
But
I mean, a lot
of people are saying that in the chat room. That it was sort of obvious, and we were saying that we watched it, but that's what happened.
You know what? It was funny again, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was a dark comedy again.
Yes.
Because last season it was so depressing, and every time, like, I just wanted to stab my eyes out after the episode ended, and I just felt so bad for Dexter. And this time I thought, he's back, and even though some of the dialogue was forced, I thought that it all kind of came together at the end, and it was, like, very, like, anecdotal almost. You know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of, like, it was just, he was such a smart ass again, and he was just so, like, everything kind of tied into at the end that I was just like, okay, it's fine.
The subtle character edginess was there again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, those little jabs, that cocky little bit of swagger, but also uncertainty when he's like at his high school reunion and he's like, how is hammer time different from regular time?
So what do we got so far? We got 2 killer moments you guys have talked about?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've talked about.
I mean, including the. Well, we're going to include the intro, like this.
Okay, so we'll
three technically.
So quickly, we got the intro, which was the nice little stab. So we got into the season immediately.
Right.
Oh, so good.
Then our second one was
Colin Hanks.
Introduction
Revelation.
of Colin Hanks, and
and the fruit vendor.
The fruit vendor. So there's your first kill of his boss. I guess we call it a boss if you're a gamer.
Final boss, but we were also told that there would be no final boss, and things are not what they seem. So I want to call him a final boss.
And then related to that, we got the third one, which is snakes coming out of the Alpha Omega sign.
That's right.
Fourth moment.
Jock Death.
Jock Death.
Jock Death.
Who had Jesus? Who had Jesus tattoo?
And let me say, yeah, I did. It got a little heavy, but let me say this much before we get into it. Dexter goes to a reunion, 20th reunion. Now I've been to my 20th reunion. I was the best looking person in my 20th reunion. I'm not good looking. Everybody was fat and bald. But Dexter's reunion, it was all hotties.
Yeah.
Because it was like Central Casting, which is where the casting agency where you bring in extras. It was the LA Central Casting of give us hot 40-year-olds.
To be fair,
they were a little too hot.
It's Miami and a more
they were hot.
Somewhat.
And his dad said it too. You're the best looking one, which of course when you go to your reunion is what you're hoping.
Right.
Of course.
And I was like, I am the best. This is weird. They're all ugly. Everybody got fat and bald. This is awesome. But everybody was better looking.
I am the sexiest person in the room.
I was like, I want to go to his high school because man, they were all still good looking.
It was very bro-y, that high school too. A lot of bros, a lot of blondes.
I know.
All right, so the moment. Now we meet this guy, Dexter's
Joe.
Revenge. Go ahead.
That's right. We meet Joe, and Joe is... It's interesting because they were talking about how Joe's wife died, and Dexter's trying to gather some evidence before he kills him.
Right.
Understandably, which is very methodical of him.
She technically committed suicide.
Technically. But he had a suspicion. So I thought it was interesting that during their little talk at the bar, Joe's mannerisms when he was talking about his wife being dead were the exact same as when Dexter a few seconds earlier somebody asked him about his dead wife. So I was kind of like two peas in a pod. I was like, Dexter, don't be hating.
I know.
Like somebody's crazy like you.
I know.
But no, the dude was a total douchebag, and he fist bumped him. That was kind of funny.
That was really funny.
Oh man.
But again, that was like bringing it back to like the old Dexter with those little moments where Dexter something doesn't go as planned, but then and he's like funny and charming about it.
Oh, he's so
I don't know. I love it. I'm really excited about it.
Me too. The tone is back. But then I like the underneath the bleachers. That was fun. That was good times.
Yeah.
And I like how Joe's like, you'll totally have eternal life if you let me go. And Dexter's like, Or like
hammer time.
Hammer time.
We haven't talked about him dancing.
Oh, that was...
Because it went back to like this whole thing about, because it was interesting that he's going back into his past. And like,
Right.
coming from like this lab geek to now like he's this popular guy, and you see a lot of Harry in this episode.
Yes.
And I think what was interesting was he kind of turned into the like proud papa sports guy. Dexter's playing football. He has no idea what he's doing, and he's the popular guy, and he's very encouraging, and it's like very like, come on Dex, come on,
Yeah.
Let's always remember that the dad is Dexter's voice.
Of course.
Obviously
Right.
It's the Dexter. This is what I think he wanted me to be, and this
Exactly.
is why a disappointment.
Well, it's
And if
interesting.
only I was a jock, dad would have liked me better. It's all that kind
Now
of stuff.
that he's
Right.
concerned about his son and concerned about his son having the dark passenger, he wants a more normal life. And now his psyche aka Harry, is now being a more normal parent, encouraging all of the things that people want for their kids to be happy and successful and athletic and, you know, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a lot of that, like the difference between him and Harry with him and Harrison.
So the moment was he got his revenge and killed the jock.
Right. Yeah. But we haven't even said why, because it turns out that the jock actually killed his wife because she had bruises in high school and they married, they were high school sweethearts, they married. So obviously she has bruises in high school, he's a bad guy. He ends up killing her, faking the suicide.
Said that killing her was less expensive than a divorce.
Exactly.
It's great.
Do you know how much a divorce costs?
Wow.
That was pretty I did laugh.
It's hilarious. That is a classy gentleman, let me tell you.
But the interesting thing was, I think they were trying to show, Dexter went through this whole thing of, and it was a comedy beat, he was trying to get the blood. They had a nice little comedy, but they also did it to show that he has not advanced to, I'm just going to keep killing people.
Right.
He thought maybe it would happen after 5
Back to the rules.
He's definitely following the rules, very strictly, very proving that this guy did it. So that was interesting. And they did it in a very great way, which we didn't see in season 5. You could tell sort of there's a different showrunner thing going on here, which we talked about. It's now Scott Buck as a showrunner. Last year was a different showrunner.
Yes.
Used to be Clyde Davis.
Yeah, but he is now...
He's now a consultant. Clyde Davis was a showrunner up through 4. 5 became a new guy. And then now Scott Buck, who's been there since the beginning, is showrunning this. And you can tell it feels that's where the comedy moments are coming in through the dark. And I think it's very well structured.
Exactly. Well, and speaking of rules, too, I mean, even Dexter describes it as his faith is a set of rules that you have to follow in order to be good. Right. So it's going back to the very beginning of, how he's established as a killer,
and
too.
Isn't that the very foundation of religion, are rules to follow?
Basically.
But you can argue against that, I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I think it totally made sense when he said it, that it's like, what are you doing, Deb? What are you doing, Batista? You're following a bunch of rules that were...
And well, the interesting thing is not that he's just dismissing it, but he's genuinely asking everybody, including Joe the Jock, when he's on his table, he's like, so tell me about this faith thing. He's asking everybody to try and get perspective. So it's going to be interesting to see if that opinion does change at any point, or if his religion changes at any point. Will the code change? Because he said to Deb, like you were saying, he talked... He gave a line. He gave an outline of this. He said, "I follow a code of rules to not get in trouble."
Right.
So it's interesting stuff.
Any other killer moments? Because we got a couple from the room who want to add some killer moments. What was your killer moment? Is that it?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
4 killer moments. Sum up your 4 killer moments.
Oh, what's that?
Summary.
Summary time. So we had intro kill. We're back on track. Woo!
Intro kill. Intro villain.
Intro villain. That's right. We had fruit vendor setting the tone for the pattern for the rest of the season, perhaps. And Jock Death. Woo! Just, I don't know. I like Jock Death. It's back to Dexter.
Yeah.
And then, of course, during the, to cover up the Jock Death, he, I'm not going to say it. Your girls, you can say what happened. One of the old ladies he knew in high school who copied off his test papers.
The Bossa Nova. Let's call it the Bossa Nova.
We'll call her the Bossa Nova.
BJ Bossa Nova.
The BJ Bossa Nova.
Because Dead Pixel Live feels that should be a killer moment because we saw her boobs.
I wrote in my notes, you can
Dead
see.
Pixel Live, thank you.
My notes right here, I'll show you.
Yeah, Kristen Miller's boobs, he says, is a killer moment. He also
LOL
says...
titties. I wrote that in my notes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it reminded me, too, of, like, when, remember Rita used to give him Bossa Nova BJs?
Oh, yes.
Too. That's, like, how they first...
They do the music. And he also says Dex looked happier after the BJ than he did after the killing. Says Dead Pixel Live. Says Dead Pixel Live.
He is a mere mortal.
By the way, you guys can Skype in. We want to chat with everybody. So if you want to Skype in, Skype Streaming Garage, we have Elaine over there taking your Skype calls. So please, we want to hear what you thought of the episode.
Also, hi, Dead Pixel Live.
Dead Pixel Live. Our old fans are back. This is very exciting.
Hi,
We're back for a
everybody.
new season.
That was an important moment. You're right. So, I agree. Anything else? I mean, the whole episode had a bunch of good, juicy stuff. I mean, I know that we both wrote down some, like, secondary important things, too, if you'd like us to share those.
People are talking about Dana's awesome boots.
Awesome.
Yes, they are fabulous.
Thank you. They're my kill boots for the kill room.
Well, let's see. What did the chat room think of the episode? What did you guys think of this compared to season 5 and compared to season 4, which I think is always the pinnacle of Dexter? What we've come to.
Do we really need to do that?
Please.
No.
Do we really need to compare? There's no
season
comparison.
5. If you go back and look at our channel and look at the iTunes and YouTube, I think everybody complained they did not like season 5 from day 1.
Right.
Episode 1 was disappointed. How do you guys feel episode 1 of season 6 was? What do you guys think?
Can I say one thing though? I had a lot of anxiety, and I don't think this was a killer moment, but just in terms of like the Deb storyline, because I love Deb and I love that she like swears and is this like tough chick. But one, she didn't. I like think she only swore like one time, and then I thought Quinn was going to get it at the end. I really thought that was going to be the end of Quinn, and I'm starting to like him again because like last season he was okay.
Not his fault though. I have a feeling it was nobody was at the top of their game last season, and I want to see. Yeah, I want to see more Quinn because I feel like last season, which had so much of him in it, didn't do any justice to the character.
Mintberry Crunch says way better than season 5. Dark Pastor 1979 premiere blew season 5 out of the water.
All right.
And,
the whole season.
And then Burgundy Blue says, I heard the next 2 episodes sucks. It's all about Deb. I don't know if that's true.
That sucks for you, but it's great for Dana.
I don't think that's really happening.
I love Deb.
By the way, Deb still has not gained weight.
I know. She's still really skinny.
She might be like, what are the body types? There's endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph. I think she's an ectomorph, and maybe she has a very lean build anyway, but no, I mean,
But Quinn,
a little health, it's okay.
Quinn, I think, though, is looking normal again, like starting to. He was really skinny last season.
Do we have anybody that wants to Skype on in? Oh, we're going to get a couple of people Skyping in. So there you go. So that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I totally agree. I think that this, even just in the first episode, I just knew that I was going to like it so much more than season 5. I mean, I knew anything that you put anything in there, I would like it better.
Let's get to our predictions because we don't have our religious Dexpert today. We're going to find one, trust me. What are you guys seeing happening in this whole entire season? It seemed pretty obvious so far, but what are you hoping for? What do you see?
So far, I have a couple things. Well, it's not major, but we saw that LaGuerta got promotion through some
blackmail.
Because
somebody was at Madame's house.
That's right.
The madam.
Heidi Fleiss.
Yeah, exactly.
Little black book.
I know.
So that'll be interesting. I feel like people don't like LaGuerta, and I understand why. The thing is, I like LaGuerta because season 5 didn't do anybody justice, like I said.
Right.
But LaGuerta's always been a strong supporting character, and I think she's really pretty and sweet. That's just me.
I know.
But
she
I
looks good in this season.
If this will come back and bite her in the ass, because
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, you start taking steps like that, and it's like you're gonna laugh, but when you play Dungeons and Dragons, shut up. You have when you make a character, you have an alignment, whether it's good or evil or somewhere in the middle. And it's interesting where if your character does, if you make your character and they're a neutral character and they start doing a lot of really bad stuff, then your alignment shifts down to evil. And there's different types of evil. And so it's just, I know it's funny to watch the show in those terms, but
I'm going to learn so much this season. I'm going to learn about, Catholicism. I'm going to learn about Dungeons and Dragons, apparently.
Things that do not mesh, but yes.
We've got a Skyper.
Ooh, hi, Skyper.
I believe it's Dead Pixel Live.
Oh, it's a Dead Pixel.
Is he there?
Hello.
Oh,
hi.
Hey, Dead Pixel, you need to turn down your Ustream, though. We can hear you. We can hear us in the background.
Really? Because I have it turned up. Okay. How about now? Better? No?
Oh, no. It might be Elaine's. Oh, it's Elaine's computer. Oh, Elaine. We're not ready. We're not ready yet. It's only the first one of the season. All right, go ahead, talk to us. Elaine will take care of it. What do we got, Pixel Live? Welcome back.
First of all, I'd like to say hello to, welcome to Dana. Hello to Kat.
Hi.
And, hello to you, Librarian Ewok.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
He always gives me a name.
I love Ewoks.
This time I'm a librarian. I'll take that. Are you gonna CGI eyelashes on me now or whatever?
Oh God,
Lucas
they're gonna make
done,
you
right?
blink.
You're making me blink now with CGI. That's what Lucas would do to me.
I like the way they're moving Dexter back. I think it's kind of jarring though, the way they're moving it back because there's still too many hints of the old goofy Dexter. I didn't like where when he first started dancing, I was like, okay, that's how Dexter would dance. He doesn't know what's going on, but then all of a sudden he's like spinning around and like doing the hammer. I was like, okay, now it's a little bit too much. Now we're going a little bit too far into comedy.
That was my favorite part, though.
To be fair, Dead Pixel, I can imagine that Dexter would have a little bit of rhythm just because isn't he like a karate master or something ridiculous?
Yeah.
No, he is though. I know in the books and the novels he has his background in like kung fu or something crazy. So his dancing wasn't that bad. It was.
Who, Dexter?
But I totally get it too, though,
Yeah, no,
because you would think like if he's really like has no idea the hammer time versus regular time, then he wouldn't be like
I understand.
Well,
shuffling across the floor.
We all watched it together, and you said, "What's hammer time?"
No, I didn't say that.
She did not ask about. She
thought-
knew what
I said
She knew what hammer time was.
I didn't remember.
No, the dance move
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
remember
You
the
didn't
dance
move.
moves.
Right, that's what
I just remember the pants. I remember him just moving his legs, back and forth. But that's it.
Well,
So I
understand
remember
the Dead
too
Pixel.
legit to quit. That's what I remember.
Hey! Oh my god. But I agree with Dead Pixel. It's, for such a usually serious show, having those little moments is kind of like, huh? But, yeah.
And also Dexter's popularity caught on way too fast for me. I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
but he's not that popular where a hottie like Kristen Miller is going to be pushing him into the science room and saying nothing. And then they had a little fun, happy time there. I was like, really?
BJ Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, no, it didn't happen to me. But people were. I didn't get that at my reading, but people were definitely impressed because I'm from Connecticut and everybody was still just in Connecticut working insurance or something, and they were impressed that I moved away. I did something. So if Dexter. I guess, as a blood splatter analysis, he probably wouldn't be getting any front page news that his dad's like, you're successful, but I guess they wouldn't know that, right? That's not a...
Well,
if I was at my reunion and somebody's a blood splatter analysis, I don't think he'd be the most popular person in the room.
He was in the papers
Because of Rita.
Of Rita.
Oh, your wife got killed, now you're popular?
But I think that's why everybody was nice, because that's actually what we talked about too. Was we were confused why everybody knew him when he said that he wasn't popular in high school.
Right.
But so we justified it.
The dad immediately explained that though. As soon as
Right.
he asked that, they immediately was in the why am I
Right.
popular? What's going on?
Right.
Because everybody in the room was like, huh?
Yeah.
We were all like,
Again, it was the strangest
Yeah.
reunion
It
I've
was
ever seen for a
bizarre.
Right. I didn't know that you had activities like that.
Right,
I
it's
didn't.
a weekend. It was a
We didn't
reunion
do activities.
weekend.
I know.
What is that?
And
Was it
finally,
Captain
they're going to do a. I don't know this for a fact, but I can tell by the way they did it. Deb is going to become a YouTube star and like a little celebrity over the course of this.
Oh, because the guy was filming her.
Yeah, and she did like a
good
cute,
catch.
cool gunfight thing. She's going to be called Super Cop or something
Oh,
like that.
nice. That's a good catch. See, I thought
Oh
that
my
was just
God.
showing like people aren't even calling 911. Nobody cares. They're just filming her. But yeah, you're probably right. It was a little foreshadow. That's
Oh
a good
my
catch.
God.
Wow,
Great catch,
that's
Dead
like-
Pixel.
Good prediction.
You always
and
have
there's no way
insight.
Quinn would ever, like if you were going out with Deb, you would notice she would never marry you. So I don't.
True.
She's got her issues.
And she'll kick your ass for asking.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Oh no.
No, it was great.
Where are you calling in from again?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Wow.
Welcome, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
He's on helping take down a Death Star too. You did a good job.
You know what? I have to say,
Thank you for calling. We love
Professor Geller reminded me of the Emperor from Star Wars because he was
You
like,
did say that.
Yes,
Yeah, she did
yes,
say
young
that.
Padawan. It was awesome.
you. All right. Dead
Thank
Pixel
you
Live,
so
there
much,
go.
Dead Pixel.
Anybody else calling in? Let's see. Dark Passenger 1979 says there were a lot of laughs in this episode. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Well, let's just go. Let's just kind of start wrapping this up, and let's talk about what do you see in the next few episodes. Other than we obviously saw the trailer for the next episode, but what do you see? What's your hopes? And then same for the chat room. As you guys start talking about it, the chat room will also weigh in.
I don't want to go on my predictions all being based off of the little
Like trail. Yeah.
trailer thing they show. But one of my thoughts had already gone in that direction, and that is the concern with Batista's sister Jamie being the nanny and being in this Dexter's space.
Right.
Because anytime somebody's in Dexter's space, ugh. Last time he had to light his shed on fire.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And you can't really light an entire apartment complex on fire. You could, but he has a history of 2 things. A, he likes to light stuff on fire to destroy. He's done that like 2 or 3 times now. And whenever he gets upset, or tries to like run away, he takes off in his boat and just leaves. Or tries to. He always comes back. So I have a feeling he'll probably try both of those at some point. Although I don't know what he'll light on fire this time. That will be very interesting. More fire and more running away on Slice of Life. Those are my predictions.
Right. Well, and also too, based on the trailer, I don't know. I can do that, right?
I
Okay.
get it, you can do it.
But when Harrison says "Daddy's box," I'm really concerned about. Maybe he'll light that on fire. Maybe he'll. I don't think he would ever do that.
Fire?
He lights stuff on fire when he gets upset.
The cabin, the shed, everything.
I mean, anytime there's evidence, he lights it on fire. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely, one of the things I was most interested about and learning kind of what is moving forward with that is Batista's sister. Because she just kind of came out of nowhere.
Hottie.
She's hot.
Yeah,
she's
totally...
never in clothes. Like, she's always in some kind of bra.
Hey-o!
Yeah.
The only one? Okay.
Oh, no.
Yay!
Woo!
So, I mean, I just feel like we're gonna see her boobs this season too. I think.
We'll probably see some boobage.
I think we're gonna see.
We have set the tone for boobage already.
Batista boobage. Let's call it that.
Well, not
right. Not
yet.
Not
you're right, though. It is his sister. Let's see Jamie Batista boobage.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't know if
I like alliteration.
Dead Pixel Live says Colin Hanks will kill Olmos. Is his prediction.
Ooh.
By the way, if you're joining us for the first
Interesting.
time, Colin Hanks has promised he will come on the last episode. He's
That's
not allowed to
right.
before. So we have that to look forward to, and we're still trying to get Scott Buck. If you're listening right now, Scott, he's a little shy, but he's a
That's
showrunner,
okay.
and we know him. But he's a little shy to come on. I think.
I
think that's the
understand
problem.
when
But
the
we're going to
time
try
is
to somehow
right.
get Scott Buck on as well. But Colin Hanks will definitely says he's
Yeah.
coming on. He was on Stupid for Movies, another show we do.
Yeah, he's
and,
awesome.
He will be on at the end of the season.
He's a big sweet pea.
Yeah.
Which is so funny seeing him be evil.
I know.
I know.
And what about
That's great.
Matsuka's intern?
Reminds me of a very, very perverted house when he had the show House when he had all the interns and picking through
Right.
them. But I really like the intern who passed out.
Me too.
He was adorable.
Well, see, now I thought he purposely picked a horrible intern who was going to like land up stepping on the body or not knowing how to use the camera. And he was like, oh, I guess I got to replace him with the girl. I thought that was his
Yeah.
MO.
Actually, yes, that is something Masuka would do.
Yeah.
I love Masuka moments. I mean, for so long, there wasn't enough Masuka, and now I must have more.
Yeah, he was missing a lot last year. He was the comedy foil always, and
Yes.
he
Right.
immediately came back in. Like I said, this feels like
Yes.
it's back
Yeah.
to Dexter. It
Oh,
just-
yes.
It's so different.
It's
which
so-
is great. And I
it
think
feels great.
I'm happy with it.
Me too.
So is that all for predictions?
I mean, like Quinn and Deb. I mean,
And Deb, well, what's going to happen now? Well, first of all, in the preview trailer, it was Dex talking about, well, he's okay as my coworker, but not as,
Right.
brother-in-law. It's going to be tough to even get to that point
No,
because
he's not his uncle.
Oh,
Not his
sorry.
uncle,
yeah,
it's
no,
his-
it's
uncle
uncle's
to his son.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting even trying to get to the point of Deborah saying yes.
Right.
But, I mean,
Then you
that's
have
a
to-
whole
that-
problem.
Yeah.
Because even though season 5 we're trying to sweep under the rug, we still have to acknowledge the fact that these things happened, even though they're not playing a major role, and a conversation has to happen between them,
Right.
or an understanding or something, because they were both there, and I don't know what that confrontation will be like. That'll be really interesting, because in the past they've butted heads.
No, definitely.
So,
And Rita's kids?
I'm fine with them being gone. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
So they're not coming back.
We don't know.
Well, I checked
That's all.
IMDb.
No, that's a spoiler. You're not supposed to tell. Do you guys want to hear IMDb spoilers? You just want to know from episode? It's a good question, and we will ask you on this on our stupidfordexter.com. Please respond, and also facebook.com/stupidfordexter. What kind of spoilers do you want us to give, if any? Do you just want it to go only what we know from the episode? Do we go in deeper in terms of IMDb? What do you guys think?
Yeah, because right now we don't even know Colin Hanks' name in this episode, or anybody's name.
Right.
I mean, we do.
Memory crunch. I am fine with knowing for sure that Rita's kids are gone. I think in a happy way.
I agree. And
Liquid Darts, I think that's somebody new. Wants to know all the goodies. Wants to know everything we know. So do you guys want us to go in depth? We can go in depth more. We have
Go in
insider
depth.
info, obviously. We're in LA. We've seen them look, they film near where Elaine lives sometimes.
Yeah,
so
she can
we
peek
kind
out the
of
window
know
and-
stuff. I already know some things. Yeah, that we just pick up on that we can definitely start talking about. I have a really big spoiler. Wait, there's a big spoiler I talked about in the last episode. Spoiler alert! If you don't want to know the spoiler, I told it on our preview. Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Paul F. Tompkins, comedian, tweeted that he saw Colin Hanks on a bicycle, which was part of a Dexter shoot. That's it.
Well, oh snap!
Colin Hanks is riding a bike. That's all I'm saying. We know that much.
It's good to know.
Did he have a Bible in his hands?
Whoa, he did not tweet that. I could ask Paul. I should
Maybe he's
November.
the fifth horseman.
I know.
Like, ding ding. Snakes on a bike. Oh my god. Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
so-
I mean, I'm not the best at predictions. I want to see where the Batista thing goes with the nannying. Elaine, do you have any predictions? You always have something to say.
She's have
I'm
to
not
yell though.
like-
She's not Mike.
Okay, I can yell. We were talking in the chat room about several mentions of Batista's daughter. Back in the early seasons when Batista was married to his first wife, they used to show those kids, and the daughter was mentioned twice tonight. So that's kind of...
Good point. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember. That was
been
like
a while.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, but I caught that on,
Interesting.
like I caught on that too.
All right, so so it looks like a big religious episode, probably religious undertones the whole season. Killer moments. We had first kill of the season, right? With and then we also had maybe the bad guys who seem to be very religious, who are looking, we think, to bring the end of the world. It seems like that kind of religious fanaticism with the Alpha Omega. And there you go. That's kind of the wrap up of episode 1 for season 6.
Very,
Right.
very exciting stuff. But we're going to be here every Sunday night. We'll be here at 8 p.m. Dexter airs Pacific Standard Time at 6, so gives you time to digest and come chat with us.
Really important. Here's the deal. We want to keep the show going, so please share this with everybody. iTunes is very important. If you have an iPod or iPhone, you go to iTunes.com. iTunes.com. Or no, it's not even iTunes.com. It's through your iTunes browser. Stupid for Dexter. There you go. Or YouTube.com/Streaming Garage. Please go to our Facebook.com/Stupid for Dexter. That's very important. You can watch the clips as well, the whole show on there as well. So support us. If you want, we have a PayPal button going on. We have patrons, so if you give a certain amount, we put your name up on the website. Check that out, streaminggarage.com, stupidfordexter.com, and we're building this whole website up to lend all your comments. So please, we want to make this as interactive as possible, include all of you, and make this the ultimate place to go to discuss Dexter all throughout the week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you to our amazing, amazing crew.
Yes.
Woo! Streaming Garage, we love you. And Dana, thank you so much.
Oh
I'm
my gosh, thank
excited.
you for having me. I'm really excited about this season
awesome
already.
to have you. Mandy will be back next week, but you gals are going to switch off, and that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
See you later. Woo!